Sure. Good evening, everyone. My name is Arturo Ureña, and I am the legal clinic coordinator. As part of the solution, the legal team has two main practices, and one of them is housing court. The other one is public benefits. When it comes to public benefits, we focus on advocating and also fair hearing for clients that have any issues with their public benefits. When it comes to the housing court, we divided it into two sub units, and one of them is again the team in charge of representing clients in court. The other part is using the grants that we have to assist clients or the community with their emergency rent arrears. Clients, for instance, that have lost any job and they are behind the rent, we also provide assistance with that. I want to provide an overview of the before and the after the prior COVID-19 and during COVID-19. When it comes to intakes, before the pandemic started, we were getting our clients through intakes. It will be Mondays and Thursday. Client will be here early in the morning and we will conduct intakes. We will meet with the client one-on-one and get all the documents and information that we needed. Unfortunately, after COVID-19 happened, we had to move into a virtual type of setting in which we will have to add the clients to a list, and then we will be contacting them. Again, people are not used to sharing information, especially if they are not on one-on-one and seeing the person they're sharing with. And that is one of the challenges that we have. When it comes to fair hearings, some of the issues that our clients have that we have to assist are whether they lost their public assistance, which could be they were receiving food stamp and they lost it, whether they were receiving cash assistance and they had a decrease on the benefit they were receiving without any issues. And in that aspect, prior COVID-19, we will do a mix of emailing Human Resources Administration and also asking the client to go in person. Unfortunately, now we have to limit ourselves only with emailing HRA and advocating for them through email, which again, it could take longer than usual, but at least we limit clients to expose themselves to the pandemic and to being outside, and still we get the job done. Let me move in and let you with one of our attorney, Maeve Kalaji, so that she can explain a little bit more about the housing court practice.
Thanks, Arturo.
Sure.
So hi, I'm Maeve Callaghy. I'm the staff attorney here at Part of the Solution. I've been working at POTS for about 5.5 years now, and I do both work in the housing unit and in our public benefits practice, but most of my time is spent with housing cases. So as Arturo kind of said, there are two aspects and maybe more to our housing practice. There are cases that in which I represent tenants in court, and then there are those in which I'm kind of assisting with advocacy to different government agencies or other non-governmental agencies. So we used to go to housing court, obviously, when it was open, and they claim that they never closed because certain emergency parts were still open the whole time. But for all intents and purposes, there have not been dates on which I'm supposed to go into the building at court. So I think people have the question, and sometimes I do too, like what are we doing if there are no court dates in housing court? And it's tough to navigate it ourselves. And a lot of this new time has been scary for clients as well, because there are so many new regulations or new things from the governor, from the city, and no one knows what applies to who. Can I get evicted the second that the courts reopen? And explaining to people that the old processes still apply. And so a lot of what I'm doing is kind of like conveying information and like what should happen once courts reopen, even though nothing feels kind of set in stone. And I have my first court appearance, my virtual court appearance next week on Skype. And so I didn't think that I would miss housing court and the kind of face-to-face interaction that you can have, even with an adversary, that can be comforting in a way because you can look someone in the eye directly and negotiate something. But I think this time we're all missing that kind of human interaction, which is why we work at POTS in the first place. So yeah, I mean, the housing practice is very different in a way because we're not able to as efficiently deal with people's cases, but I think a lot of the advocacy is still there. It's just kind of more attenuated and has to be virtual for the moment. So I'd like to introduce our newest member at POTS, Carissa Guatron.
Hi, my name is Carissa. I'm one of the legal advocates with our legal team. I just started working at POTS in June, so I'm still very new and still trying to figure out, you know, how we're helping clients and what all the rules and regulations are that we were working with before the pandemic. That is seems to change on a day-to-day basis now with the pandemic and moratoriums and all the new regulations. I was drawn to POTS because of its one-stop service model. And I think Maeve mentioned that a lot of our clients right now are kind of at a standstill with like the moratorium, and some of them were fortunate enough to receive the pandemic unemployment, which kept them afloat. But now that is gone, people are in a situation now where they have no idea what kind of job prospects they'll have. And so we don't know if they'll be able to pay rent moving forward, which is often, you know, something that we want to try to make sure is possible to resolve people's cases. But considering the high unemployment rate, people are just left in this kind of in-between state that is really nerve-wracking for our clients, but it's also nerve-wracking for us in wanting to resolve their cases. But I do think that it's a relief. It's a relief for me, at least, working for POTS with this one-stop service model, because I can then refer them to our case management team to figure out what public benefits we can get them on to help increase some of their expense burden, or I can refer them to our employment team so they can help look for a job, or, you know, we have the dining room to help them with that basic need.